Inquiry-based learning is a student-centered active learning method that encourages students to ask questions and investigate real-world problems. And here are the few characteristics of inquiry-based learning. First, inquiry-based learning shifts from teacher-centered to student-centered learning. It empowers students to take ownership of their educational experiences by exploring their interests and questions, fostering a deeper connection to the material. Second, active engagement with hands-on activities, experiments, and discussions that require critical thinking and problem-solving skills. This engagement goes beyond passive listening, encourages learners to apply concepts in real-world contexts, which enhances retention and understanding. Third, collaboration and teamwork in a group learning environment that fosters communication, teamwork, and the exchange of diverse perspectives, align with Vygotsky's emphasis on social interaction in cognitive development. Fourth, focus on the learning process rather than the final product. Students are encouraged to explore various pathways, reflect on their thinking, and understand the rationale behind their conclusions. This focus on process over product cultivates a growth mindset and resilience. Fifth, development of critical thinking and inquiry skills. Students learn to ask meaningful questions, seek out resources, and critically evaluate information. These inquiry skills are invaluable in an information-rich age, preparing students to navigate complex and often ambiguous real-world problems. And the last one is integration of interdisciplinary knowledge, which helps students to see the relevance of what they are learning and how it applies outside the classroom to real-world situations. And here are the steps of inquiry-based learning. First, inquire real questions. Teachers should encourage students to explore questions based on their real interests, rather than a bait-and-switch approach. This can be challenging for young students who may not know the real questions themselves. The questions should be answerable and not based on belief or opinion. Teachers must help students to identify and refine their questions. Second, finding relevant resources. The process of finding relevant resources of information involves assembling and assessing evidence to answer inquiries. Sources include books, people, experiments, web pages, and discussion groups on the internet. Learners must be taught to collect partial answers and assess their validity. Critical evaluation skills are crucial due to the widespread misinformation in the world, especially with younger children. Instilling a healthy awareness of information being authored rather than a suspect or disdain is essential. Third, interpreting information. The next step is interpreting information, where students evaluate the quality of information and its applicability to the original inquiry question. Learners classify information and record new questions, focusing on the relationship between the information and the hypothesis. It's crucial to instill the need to actively seek information and disprove the hypothesis, and to understand that quantity doesn't equate to quality. And the last one is report findings. During the validation and interpretation processes, students refine their questions and to find an answer, which may contradict their original hypothesis. Teachers should emphasize the journey of the inquiry and the excitement of finding new information. The reporting stage should focus on telling the student's personal story of the learning journey rather than just recounting facts. Students should report when they are satisfied with their answers. And these are few types of inquiry-based learning. First, the structured inquiry approach that helps students learn how to ask questions and investigate real-world problems. Second, the open-ended inquiry approach that allows students to explore their interests and ask questions about the topic they are studying. Third, the problem-based inquiry approach that involves solving real-world problems using the knowledge and skills learned in class. And the last one is the guided inquiry approach, which is a teacher-led approach to inquiry-based learning. Teacher helps students to ask questions and find solutions to real-world problems. Elementary and middle school classrooms often use this type of inquiry-based learning. And here are some advantages of inquiry-based learning. First, inquiry-based learning enhances critical thinking and problem-solving skills by encouraging students to question, explore, and synthesize information. Second, it increases engagement and motivation by allowing students to follow their interests and questions, making learning more meaningful and enjoyable. Third, it improves communication and collaboration skills through collaborative activities that require students to articulate their ideas, listen to others, and integrate diverse perspectives. Fourth, it fosters independence and self-directed learning by encouraging students to take ownership of their own learning process and navigate their inquiries and projects. Fifth, it promotes adaptability and flexibility by challenging students to adapt to changing conditions and embrace ambiguity. And last one is it supports differentiated learning by accommodating diverse learning styles and paces, providing personalized pathways for students to engage with content. And here are some disadvantages of IBL or inquiry-based learning. First, implementing IBL can be more resource and time-intensive than the traditional teaching method, requiring significant preparation and flexibility in curriculum planning as the class periods may not follow a predictable schedule. Second, effective IBL facilitation demands high levels of teaching expertise in guiding students through the inquiry process and assessing their learning. The teacher must also provide just enough support to keep students engaged without taking over the process. Third, there is a potential for reduced coverage of the curriculum due to the time-consuming nature of IBL activities. Fourth, assessing students' learning in IBL environments can be challenging, requiring the use of alternative assessment methods that are time-consuming and subjective. Teachers must therefore employ a variety of assessment methods such as portfolios, presentations, and self-assessments to get a comprehensive view of students' achievement. And the last one is equity concerns arise in IBL as students from diverse backgrounds may have different levels of access and support, potentially complicating educational inequalities. And here are 6 implementation strategies for inquiry-based learning. First, start small by integrating inquiry-based activities into existing lesson plans and dedicating a portion of class time to students-directed projects. Second, create a supportive classroom environment that encourages curiosity and values all questions. Third, use open-ended questions that stimulate critical thinking and exploration. Fourth, facilitate learning as a teacher by providing guidance and resources, but resist the urge to provide immediate answers. Fifth, incorporate a variety of resources such as digital tools, library materials, and field trips. 6. Scaffold the inquiry process by breaking it down into manageable steps and providing tools and strategies. 5th, assess both the process and product of learning through formative and summative assessments. And last one is reflect on the effectiveness of IBL activities and make adjustments as necessary. Serve as guides or facilitators that provide support and resources rather than direct instruction. Teachers need to guide the students to create the real questions, and teachers should help students identify and refine their questions in the first step of IBL, recognizing when they are not appropriate for a given project. Hope this helped, and thank you for watching.